Hi everybody, this is Rhino Ranger. Some announcements to make for 2026. But first, happy 6th anniversary to the Owl House. Be gay, do witchcraft. Us weirdos gotta stick together. Anyways, moving on. As you may notice, this year has a lot of anniversaries, and I got a lot of ideas in my head for which I want to try and make this year. Of course, some of them might be subjected to change if any real-life events occur. So without further ado, here are my plans for 2026. First in production is Skyxar, a continuation from my Skyney series, which I did back in 2023 to 2024. Skyney was meant to parody each and every of the Walt Disney Animation canon movies that were released at the time, from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs to Moana 2, plus a few extras. One particular short was a teaser for my upcoming project called Skyxar, which will be parodying each and every released Pixar movie so far, from Toy Story to Elio, maybe Hoppers and Toy Story 5 when I see their movies, and maybe a few bonus parodies too, like Zootopia 2. They will be made throughout February as a way to celebrate their 40th anniversary, and a little bit more in March. And of course, you may or may not already know that my birthday is on April 19th. This year, I'll be 32, one flavor more than 31. Darn, I missed my chance to tell that joke in the 31st birthday animation. Oh well, best I can show this instead.
Aha! As I suspected, 32 flavors.
Anyways, I'm not sure if I can do it, but I am thinking about doing something that's like a fight tournament, similar to my Supercharged and Nitro Fueled event. And each battle is where people get to bet on who wins, and the winning bettors get to have a commission for 2 simple characters in one drawing. There will be 32 characters in 31 battles. If one loses, they're out and cannot fight again in the next battle. Now the question is, which group of characters should participate in the competition? I do have some ideas. 1, all the original Skylanders from Spyro's Adventure. 2, at least one character from my most favorite TV show of each year, like Rhinox from Beast Wars, which is from 1996. Most favorite animated feature characters, most favorite video game characters. Fan favorite character can be either from the TV, video game, book, etc. It doesn't matter which medium you pick. My OCs, my fans' OCs, Skylanders versus Crash Bandicoot, and their rivalry is more like Street Fighter X Tekken or Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, or some other group of characters for me to use for the tournament, or which you can suggest in the comment section. Or I don't bother with another miniseries event and just do something normal instead. I mean, the simpler option I can have is my mascot, Rhino Ranger, arriving vacation after going to 32 vacation spots, based on the fact that I have been in various places on Earth, including Thailand, Italy, Portugal, USA, Spain, France, Indonesia, Wales, etc. It is also based on the fact that sometimes I celebrate my birthday in England instead of Malaysia. I had an almost birthday celebration in the United States back in 2012 during my visit to Walt Disney World in Florida. During the animation, while in each location, I hang out with 3 characters, each from my most favorite TV show, movie, and game from each year of my life. And perhaps to make it a little bit more challenging, I will ask for one favorite character of yours from that year. Like your favorite 2011 character is hanging out with my favorite 2011 characters, Gumball, Arthur Christmas, and Trigger Happy. Or your favorite 2001 character is hanging out with my favorite 2001 characters, Billy, Mike Wazowski, and Eddie Wachowski. Huh, that rhymes. So again, it's either the fight tournament or BRR's vacation photos, your choice. I am still determined to finish off part 3 of Skylanders University. I still have all the voices recorded, and I think I got all the set pieces I need. To really get myself into Skylanders University more, I'll be doing a series of shorts which will be promoting Skylanders University, mostly character profiles and a little bit of behind the scenes. I'm aiming to make at least 1 or 2 every weekend. Again, this is for part 3. I may have a part 4 and a part 5 in the works. Also note that this year will be the 10th anniversary of Skylanders Imaginations, which means Skylanders will become a franchise that has passed 10 years without an additional follow-up, now counting the mobile games like Ring of Heroes or updates like the Switch version of Imaginators. Speaking of which, has anyone played the Skylanders Imaginators game on the Switch too? Anyways, for this year's Skylanders anniversary, I'm thinking of a new type of animation. I actually had this story for quite a while, perhaps back in 2016 to 2017. It's called Almost Rehab, and it parodies the Batman the Animated Series episode Almost Got Him. It features the Doom Raiders who didn't become senseis and discuss why they haven't become senseis in the first place back in 2016. And each has a story about how they almost became rehabilitated. The script is available, and I'm looking for someone to voice Dreamcatcher. I plan to voice many of the male characters, but you can audition for any of them if you like. Link is in the description, and I have a Discord server if you want to join for submissions. Also for that animation, I'm thinking of slipping in another challenge. Remember my Around the World with 80 Skylanders animation where I have several Skylanders in various different countries from all over the world? Later, I would have other groups of Skylanders and villains in other places like Bad Breath in Malaysia, Spotlight and Blackout in Antarctica and Fiji, Dark Spiral in the United States, the rest of the Superchargers, and Crash Bandicoot and Dr. Neocortex in other countries when Terrafin travels, Giants in countries but encountering some fears, 50 villains, mostly from Trap Team and the racing part of Superchargers in each of the 50 states of the United States, the Swap Force on vacation while the other Giants experience the Swap Curse, the rest of the villains in the 7 Seas trying to catch some sharks, the Trap Masters in other countries, each with 3 trapped crossover villains, plus a Troll Warrior and Chaos's Mother, and the Ring of Heroes exclusive and Nightmare villains in various fictional worlds like the Boiling Isles, Eternia, and Cybertron. This time, it's the Sensei's turn, but this time, I got an extra challenge. Request your OC Imaginator to accompany the Senseis. I'll host a little competition and explain better details on a later date. I'm also cooking up 2 things to celebrate Cynder's birthday, which is on the 10th of October. One is an animation collaboration which you will see in the final project. I'll even release my part when that's out. The second is based on an old concept I've been working on for 10 years. Let's just say a moment in Dragonstein and in one of my 12 Days of Christmas animations gives off that clue to what it is. On September 9th, it will be the 30th anniversary of Crash Bandicoot, and also the 10th anniversary of his comeback after 8 years of being on hiatus on the consoles. While I'm still brainstorming for an idea for that special moment for Crash, one idea that is popping in my head now is, what if Crash Bandicoot had a Skylander-like game where Crash is the main character and he's surrounded by OC mutants of my own design? I'll keep on brainstorming, or maybe you can give me some ideas on that. On September 16th, it will be the 30th anniversary of what is perhaps my most favorite cartoons of the 90s and my true introduction to the Transformers franchise, and perhaps my primary reason why I love rhinos in the first place, Beast Wars. There are a few ideas I have for that, like reimagining the Owl House characters as Beast Wars Transformers and have their palisman as their beast modes. Or I can instead do that with Skylanders, but their beast modes are like from Ark Survival Evolved. Or I can just try and do my own take on the Beast Wars intros and includes more characters that did come out as toys at the time, but never once made an appearance in the show, like Iguanas, Spitor, Razor Beast, and Bone Crusher. Heck, the last 2 were the first Beast Wars and the first Transformers I ever got. Heck, at one point, Wolfang and Insecticon were supposed to be the upcoming 6 members of their respective fractions, but they ended up being replaced by Tigertron and Black Arachnia for time and money constraints. CGI was still a hard tool to master at the time. Also, another anniversary to consider is the Loud House's 10th anniversary on May 2nd, a day after SpongeBob's 27th anniversary. I have some ideas for what I could do with the Loud House. I could either have a series of shorts called Sibling Bonding, focusing on each of the Loud siblings interacting with each other. For example, I have 10 shorts focusing on Lori and a different sibling, like Lori and Lynn Jr. playing golf, but Lynn is having a hard time with patience. And Lenny and Lana enter a gardening place, and while Lenny likes pretty things like flowers, she has a hard time trying to garden because of how dirty it is. While Lana loves dirt, she's not really into pretty stuff like flowers. Most of them will have to be silent shorts due to my limited voice acting skills on female characters. I could try Lori, Luann, Lynn Jr., Lucy, Lana, and Lisa, but the rest I might need some help. Or instead of doing Loud House sibling bond shorts, I will instead animate 11 teasers for what the future Skywars shorts would look like, focusing on the Louds as Portal Masters, meaning you get a bit more of a taste of what Lenny does as a life Portal Master, Lori as a water Portal Master, Lynn as a fire Portal Master, etc. Not all of them will be in the final Skywars chapters, but again, it gives off a bit of taste to what's to come. I might be leaning more towards this one because I have another thing to do in May that involves my family. Okay, so that's all the anniversaries I like to adjust and the potential upcoming projects I'm making based off. Now for some other news. I will try and do longer animations instead of the usual shorts because YouTube's algorithm is recommending me less for doing less than a minute shorts on a wide screen instead of being in the shorts format. I get a lot more views when I do longer animations. That's not to say I won't stop doing shorts. In fact, my Skyxar 30-second birthday tournament and something for Cynder will be in shorts, but later they'll be compiled into one animation. And I will also do additional Jurassic Park shows with the newly introduced dinosaurs of Jurassic World Evolution 3. Now, if you're listening to my video, you might notice that my mic might be a bit fuzzy with the crackling noises. I think it's time for me to get a new mic and recording hardware. What I'm using is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, and I had it for over 10 years. For now, I'm just going to use it for voiceovers and postpone the live streams for a future date until I get a new mic. So the only way to request is when I do a request challenge, which by the way, I am doing one right now with the Owl House. Link is in the description. And the only way to do paid commissions is to head to my Patreon and subscribe to one of my tiers, or wait until I do another premiere of a video. Speaking of premiere, before I wrap this up, I'm thinking about introducing one more rule. Depending on where you are, there is of course the different currency thing. Some of you may not live in the United States. You could be from the United Kingdom or Canada or Japan, but when selecting that cash to donate, you are given 11 options on how to donate. The first option has the lowest amount of money you can donate, while the 11th option has the highest amount. So I'm going in with a new rule. If you choose the first option, you get only one character commission off screen. If you select the second option, you get 2 characters, 3 for third, 4 for fourth, and all the way up to 11 for the 11th and highest option. Once again, I only recommend this for off-screen commissions. Any free requests in the live stream will be based on the theme I choose. And so, those are my plans for 2026. Again, they might change if some real-life event happens that I cannot control. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section. I hope you've enjoyed this video.